This is why you die.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Is Why You Died, the only horror show you need to survive the apocalypse, but only a zombie apocalypse. If it's a nuclear apocalypse, then you're on your own. I, as always, am Sir Ian Dangerous, aka your Uncle Frank, and joining me are two guys who definitely know the fastest way to the nearest hardware store, Ryan Ross Live and Dan Marcha Madness. Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Hello.
Yes.
This one was
Yes.
true. Normally they're out. This one's true.
You gotta know.
You go into the hardware store a lot, Ryan?
Well, my first actual job was at a hardware store.
That's right.
But also, as far as like everybody has always joked about, like if they had a zombie apocalypse plan, right? When I was a teenager, I thought multiple times about how secure that hardware store was from zombies. Because the manager had an office that was a one-way window that oversaw the entire floor. The only way up to it was through a staircase in the back where the shipments came in. So you only have two different entrances that funnel to one staircase. And either you have security cameras in the warehouse or you've got the entire view of the floor, which is all hardware equipment. It was a beautiful spot.
On the West Coast, we don't have a lot of gun stores. Best second thing to go for, the hardware store. Chainsaws, mallets, pickaxes,
Lawnmowers,
gardening
equipment.
A hardware store
lawnmowers
in a zombie movie?
Oh yes,
They've
but the
done, like,
lawnmowers. It's funny you say that, Ryan, because I have to apologize in advance to all of our listeners, everyone who's coming to the show for the first time and for many times. My voice is not what it normally is. I've got a little bit of singaya. I've got the bite. If you get the reference there, then you're in the right place. But we are the horror show that picks prompts at random from our 666 possible words and phrases in our buckets of the beast. And we choose horror movies based on those prompts and talk about them for all of y'all. And before we actually go any further, a couple things we got to talk about. Dan, March of Madness, tell them where they can find all of our links.
At beacons.ai/TIWYD pod. And you can get there. You can see where you can stream us and listen to us, or you can watch us on YouTube. You can join our Patreon and support us, or you can go to our store and buy some neat merch like this.
That's a nice beanie. That's a nice beanie. He never takes it off.
I love it.
Based
Never,
off of
ever.
our last
Sleep
episode,
with it too. Take a shower with it. It's on.
We've got new merch too. Well, we've got the pint glass, the shot glass, and the thermos going up. So keep an eye out for those.
You already ordered that since last
I haven't ordered it.
Wow.
I'm just saying they're like.
I mean, you're wow.
They will be
I was
available.
like, you got a list going. I thought you already created it. I was like, that was fast.
No. Ryan's on it, man. Ryan is on it. But we
I manage the digital world.
Yes, and speaking of the digital world, what is the kind of stuff they can get on our Patreon, Ryan? Like what kind of bonuses do we offer?
So many things. So we have multiple tiers in which you can potentially be a patron if you are interested, that come with various perks. And each tier has perks exclusive to that tier and above. But some examples are you can get a merch discount, you get access to bonus content on Patreon. We have a patron-only Discord server. We have our dedicated benefactors who get a shout out every episode. So CG, thank you for being our dedicated benefactor.
Hey CG,
we
thank you.
Our first one.
And you also get access to our extended episodes with the before and after of each episode, where we shoot the shit and prep for the show and then debrief from the show, or in the case of Sinners, get at each other's throats.
Wow.
Like we did last time.
Sure did.
Wow. Shit got hot.
Oh,
it got
man,
hot.
dude.
We were at each other's vampire movie and we were at each other's throats. I caught what you did there.
Yeah. Oh, man, you have me so steamed, dude. Oh, I'm still recovering.
That was a good one.
Please go listen to last episode if you have not heard that.
And of course, something else you get on Patreon is you get he mentioned our bonus content. We got bonus episodes. Our last bonus episode was us going into a deep dive on Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. It was deep. It was a huge episode.
It's
lots of information.
A full episode by itself.
It was insane. And of course, we have this year our annual holiday show bonus episode coming up. We're actually going to be doing a roll for that on our next episode. Not this one, but our next one, I think. Is that right? Or are we doing on this one? We rolling for the holiday episode on this one?
I don't know.
I don't know. Are we?
I can get my dice. Or is that a thing?
Hold on.
You want to roll?
Oh, not right now.
Let's do it.
No. Let's do it at the end of the show because we do have that bonus holiday episode coming up, and people stay tuned till the end of the show, and we will find out what the movie that we're going to watch for that holiday episode is going to be. I am excited too. I didn't even realize that, but it's right there in my notes. And I was like, oh, there it is. It's time. It's time.
I'm ready.
Also, Dan, you brought this to my attention. There's a Thing sequel in the works, like an actual official.
There's a Thing sequel, and it was confirmed. I can't remember at the location, but it was confirmed by John Carpenter himself. I guess he has another story in mind, and he's going to continue The Thing. And so I brought that up to
business.
The guys. I texted it. I texted it to you guys, and Ian said, "I'm gonna get sick," or he's like, "I'm throwing up."
Yep.
And I was like, "From excitement or from disgust?" And he said, "From disgust."
Yeah.
And so I'm curious. You're not even if it's from Carpenter. You don't even want to see a story beyond.
I am thoroughly disgusted with legacy sequels. We have had that's all they do anymore. That all they can do is throw money at old IPs and try to resuscitate them using the actors from that era. Let some of these properties fucking rest. Jesus Christ, we've ruined so many properties from when I was young by people trying to bring them back with legacy sequels. Stop it. The number of them that actually are worth a goddamn thing and don't taint the legacy of the originals are minimal compared to how many are god-awful Indiana Jones, Ghostbusters, let's see, Star Wars, that's a whole episode right there. Tron, Matrix, we got a whole list here of ones that were crap. Halloween, Coming to America was okay.
I think the
28 days later, 28 years later.
The issue is that right now Hollywood is in this state of, because of partially, I think, COVID and partially the economy, right? There are studios that they know that in order to make these movies are massive budget, massive undertakings of cast and crew and all this stuff. And they don't want to take financial risks on original things when original things are a gamble. And so they try and go with the safe option, quote unquote, of stuff that's established. And then what ends up happening is we're getting the sequelitis of everything as a sequel. Everything's a franchise. Everybody just wants to build out the merch and the series. And everyone's getting very tired of it. But then on the flip side, if they try and do an original like Elio or whatever, then people don't go see it because they're not familiar with it. And the movies are expensive now.
But conversely to that I've been hearing that excuse and I've been hearing that explanation my entire life. And you're 100% right, Ryan. That's exactly what studios have become. That's what they have been for a long time. They're scared of original IPs, and they always have been. They always want it to be based on, when I was younger, it was, you had to have it based on a book or some sort of other property. And they've only now realized
was big in like the 80s, 90s.
Sure. They've finally realized, oh, hey, if we make a video game exactly like the video game, like the Mario Brothers movie or Sonic, make it exactly like the game, it'll make money. Don't fuck it up like they did in the 90s. Like they were basing it on the properties, but they were trying to make them all somewhat original, and they were losing people in the process.
Percy Jackson, Aragon, Artemis Fowl, these crimes of movies.
Sure, exactly. They were fucking them up, and they're like, well, this doesn't work. And so they become more and more conservative. And now they're looking back at these properties that at the time weren't successful. Blade Runner wasn't successful at the time, but now they're like, we got to throw $200 million at a new movie with Denis Villeneuve directing it. And they got lucky. It was actually shockingly good. But the number of times that's happened is minimal. So The Thing, one of the most perfect movies ever made, with one of the most perfect endings ever made, you're going to continue that? They tried to do a prequel already. That fucking sucked. What are we doing here? Stop humping these corpses. Leave them alone. Do something original for once. Damn it.
John Carpenter's 77. I don't know if
and he's still rocking it at the Hollywood Bowl. That guy's my man.
Yeah.
But that being said, all right. So yeah, The Thing 2, we'll see how it goes. Dan, are you excited for it?
I'm just curious because it is John Carpenter. It's like if it was just a studio taking the property, I'd be like, this is terrible. But like the fact that he's behind it, I'm curious. I agree that the trilogy of the new Halloween was terrible. I thought the new Halloween, the first one, the Halloween, I like that movie alone. I think they should just made that as like a follow-up sequel and then just be done with it. I think that Halloween Kills and Halloween, whatever the thing it was, the third one, like those like dropped the ball and weren't very good. So we'll see. I mean, I'm curious what the story would be, but like you said, it's like, let's do some more original stuff.
Look
like,
at Sinners.
What
did we talk about last
Sinners,
time?
like,
one of the big successes of this
exactly.
year, Sinners, original property. And you talk about John Carpenter being involved. I'd be more excited if he wasn't also involved with that Halloween remake trilogy and the fact that he hasn't made a good movie since 1995. Made a bunch of good music. Movies, not so much. So,
valid point.
We will wait and see. But we're not just here to kvetch about legacy sequels. Oh no, much as we'd like to. Much as I'm still grumpy from last week, man. I don't know.
You are grumpy.
I'm grumpy. I'm sorry. It's the fact that I'm drinking tea and not whiskey.
It's because he's the salty old man of the group.
That's right. That's what I am right now.
These young kids and their sequels.
That's right. With this salty old man, it's my turn this week to pick the movie. And so what I did is I made them watch an old movie. That's right. You got to watch the classics.
1960 something.
1964. You've got to watch an old movie, you whippersnappers. Do you want to see something original? You're going to see something original. My prompt was Spirit, and I chose Kwaidan. Or more...
A movie
it's more
Ryan and I had never heard of.
Never heard of
Kwaidan.
Kwaidan, either way, it means essentially, broadly, ghost story, but in Japanese, it's kind of like an older version of saying it. I don't know if we have an equivalent in English, but it implies something that's older, like Edo period, a few hundred years ago. Classic. And that's exactly what this is. It's a collection of four ghost stories told in Edo, most of them, I think, Edo era Japan, all the way up to like just after the Meiji Restoration. So, very, very classic movie made in the 1960s by an incredible director by the name of Masaki Kobayashi, who also made one of my favorite movies, Harakiri. And so it's probably one of the most. I mean, I'm letting my preferences shine, but I think it's one of the most beautiful movies you'll ever see, Kwaidan. But we are here to talk about that movie. So going forward, bam, spoilers. Is it really fair to spoil a 60-year-old movie? I don't know. Bam, spoilers for Kwaidan if you haven't seen it already. If you do want to go spend 3 hours watching some beautiful Japanese cinema, go watch it now and then come back because we're about to talk about it in depth. All four.
Hey, it is on HBO Max, which surprised me.
And
easily accessible.
Prime, right?
And speaking of the fact that it's 3 hours long, I barely made it to the episode today because I had planned out my day. I like to watch the movies fairly close to recording time. And I had done my research, and on Google, it says that the hour is 2 hours and 4 minutes. And so I had planned to watch it at 5 p.m. prior to a recording later this evening. And I pull it up and I check it 3 different places and realize it is 3 hours. And I text the guys and be like, hey, I'm going to be a little tight today.
Yep. Yeah. So you looked on Google and saw the U.S. theatrical cut when it was first released in the U.S. They cut out the third story of the 3 stories. They cut out the third one. In my opinion, probably the best one.
In my opinion, that story carries the movie.
Oh, absolutely. That's the core of the movie, that one. I mean, let's break it down. There's 4 stories in this. The first one is called The Black Hair, or it's actually I think if I'm not mistaken, the original name is Kurokami, which is Black Spirit. And it's about a guy who ditches his wife. He doesn't just leave her. He straight like pokes her with his sword. Get off me. Get off me.
In the case,
leaves her.
He doesn't stab her, but
yeah, it's still in the sheath.
He jabs at her.
Yeah, just like get up off me. And I'm gonna go to Edo. I'm gonna go to Tokyo. I'm gonna marry a rich chick, and because I can't deal with you being poor. And he just leaves her and goes and lives his life. Realizes he's miserable with his new rich wife because she's terrible, and he yearns for his old wife. Goes back to see her, and bad things happen to him. And then the second movie The second piece in Kwaidan is the Woman of the Snow, literally Yuki-onna, Snow Woman. And it's about it's actually, all of these are classic Japanese folk tales that were collected in a book that the movie's based on. And which is called Kwaidan, Stories and Studies of Strange Things, by an Irish Greek author.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Whose name I'm trying to actually pull up really quickly here.
Last name Hearn?
Yeah. She's Hearn. Lafcadio Hearn. There we go. And this one is one that I'd actually heard before this movie, and that's where there's a woodcutter who's out with his master cutting wood, gets caught in a snowstorm, and they take shelter in a shack in which a woman, a spirit, freezes the master and tells the young one, "I'm gonna let you go because you're so young and cute." And then later he marries a woman who turns out to be the Snow Woman, because he told her, "I'm not going to tell anyone that you let me live," but he ends up telling his wife, who turns out to be the Snow Woman, "Psych! I've given you 3 kids, and I'm going to head towards the hills because you broke your promise, pal. You screwed up."
Which is
and then the
so like such a Japanese spirit thing of like, I'm going to blend in with the humans unless you break this one specific promise, and then now I'm done. Now I can never be human again.
You know, I want to say I've heard that in a Grimm's fairy tale, something like that, right?
Well,
like,
it is kind of Fae-ish.
Yeah.
But like usually Fae are like, you broke a promise, now I'm coming to collect like an essence or whatever. Like it's the blending in with human thing, like the blending in with as a human in human society thing, and then being like, oh, now the promise is broken and I can no longer exist in the way that I've existed, feels very Eastern mythology to me.
I don't know. I feel like I know like a Germanic one like that where, you know, I'll give you everything you want, but you know, never say my name backwards or something like that, you know. And there's Bluebeard,
that's
like
true.
We'll stay married as long as you don't look in the closet, right? Like I feel like that's not something that's particular to the East, but I mean, maybe this is something that's just cross-cultural, right? Like when you promise something, don't break it. Otherwise, bad things happen.
Well, he like just again, spoiler alert, but he doesn't just break it. He goes through like every detail of that thing. He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
right.
I haven't talked about this in 10 years. Here, let me lay it out for you step by step, word by word, every aspect of the scene. I don't want to miss anything. Anyway,
and it's great because you just see her just go from the first word and then slowly get more and more stiff the more he just blurts it all out. The fourth one, I'm going to get back to the third one. The fourth one's a really short, kind of weird one where you see a guy writing about folk tales of Japan in like the 1900s in Tokyo. And then you flash back the story that he's writing about a samurai who sees a face in a cup of tea and then freaks out and then finally drinks the cup of tea that with the faces in, and then gets haunted by this ghost. And then there's like other ghosts that are like working for that ghost that are chasing him, and he starts going nuts. And right as he gets nuts, we cut back to the author who's not there anymore, and his publisher comes to find him, but the author's missing, and somehow he's now living inside his water bowl in the middle of the place. Like he's gotten caught up in his own story and has been trapped just the way the spirit was in the story. Very odd final one, but the big one, the one that you would have missed, Ryan, if you'd watched the American version, Hoichi the Earless, probably the one that most people have seen images of, is the one where there's the blind
monk.
Blind, what's that?
He's like a monk.
He's a blind monk. He plays the biwa, which is a traditional Japanese stringed instrument, and he's really good at one particular song called "The Tale of the Heike," about the Battle of Dan-no-ura, one of the most pivotal battles in Japanese history. Probably the only thing close to be like William the Conqueror in 1042. I think the only thing like we can really compare it to in terms of like the amount that it matters in Japanese history. He's really good at that. So the ghosts from that battle steal him every night and make him play this song for them until his abbot realizes what's going on and says, "We got to save this kid." And they paint him all over with the Heart Sutra, which is the really cool kanji that's all over his body, but they forget his ears. They forget to paint his ears, and the ghosts take his ears. Ouch.
Those damn float gears.
Brutal.
That's a lot. There's
It's
a lot of
cool
story
little
in this
scene,
one.
though.
A lot of story in this movie.
A lot of
yeah.
story in this movie. Blah, blah, blah. I've spent myself discussing this movie. Boys,
Wow.
let's go. Let's go like piece by piece here. Let's talk about each of these 4 stories, and then let's talk about the whole piece
Okay.
of this movie.
Yeah.
Let's start with the black hair. What did you guys think of the black hair?
Oy. Like,
Oh.
I think out of all the stories, I felt like the black hair kind of had the worst ending. It kind of felt like I was into
Really?
it. I was into it. I liked the story. I thought that the story of him leaving the devoted wife and ending up with an unhappy second wife and realizing that he missed his old family, or his old, technically it was just the 2 of them. I felt like that was all pretty compelling, and I liked the actual story that was being told. But then it kind of like, spoiler, he comes back, she ends up like, he finds her in a decrepit building that's like their old home. She greets him back. They apologize to each other. They spend one last night together, and then he wakes up and it turns out she's dead. And then the remnants of her hair attack him, and he like ages rapidly before essentially collapsing outside of his old house. And that ending wraps up so rapidly, and so kind of like, the hair itself just felt so nonsensical to me that the ending didn't land. Like, the rapid aging was cool. The fact that she ended up being dead was tragic. Like, there was cool elements of it. I think just the fact that he's literally being chased by a giant ponytail essentially was so absolutely ludicrous to me. And then like, he's rapidly aging at the same time, which is kind of a cooler angle. And then you've just got
That was pretty cool.
this hair following him that I was like, it felt very lopsided in a strange way to me.
I disagree. I'm on the flip side of that.
Really?
Whereas I felt like the first, like, leading up to that just felt a little bit slow. It felt slow to me. It felt like wasn't quite sure where it was going. I wasn't really connecting, to it all. And then once he returned home, and after they spend the night together and he discovers what happened to her, that's where I was just like, that I love that twist. I love how he saw his home as it was, and then the home was decrepit. I actually really liked how the hair was coming, because Ryan, you haven't seen a lot of horror movies, but then I could see that, like, oh, I see where they're getting like The Ring. I see where they're getting The Grudge. I see like,
Yes.
This is like the birth of that idea of this, like, and there's the in The Ring and The Grudge, the hair over these like female kind of ghouls or whatever that are coming after the people in those movies, like that I see the significance. I'm like, wow, it probably came from this story or from this movie, or at least the significance of that. So I enjoyed all that. I love the camera work. I love how the camera was twisting. It almost felt like the house was shifting on its own, falling apart. He's trying to get out. He's aging. I was like, that made the story work for me. Everything else felt a little slow. Like, it just felt too slow, and I wasn't connecting to it. The ending is what saved this one for me. So I'm like, flip side.
And to
that.
add on,
Yeah.
Dan, also something I thought was really, revolutionary for the time, but it's still really arresting. The sound. The sound goes to, like, they fuck with everything in this movie. Like, the sounds don't always line up. There's like these weird creakings on the background. Everything goes to silence at sometimes. One thing I want to bring up now, because I think that's something that they use to a lot of effect in this movie, is the concept of ma, which is silence, intentional silence, right? Really kind of making a silence that is purposeful. And as someone who's receiving it, like, okay, we're supposed to internalize the silence as intentional. What does it mean? Right. And it's a much bigger concept than that. But I think in this particular moment, that's exactly what it is. The silence is purposeful. It's meant to give us pause or create an emotion or a feeling or a sensation. And it's really fucking creepy at the end of this. And I'm kind of with Dan on this, Ryan, where I think you have to set up everything else. And I think that a lot of the story in Tokyo is interesting, but I think that they could have gotten through it narratively quicker.
I don't disagree with that. I think the whole movie's fairly slow. But
yeah, and I think we're gonna have this. That's, you know what? That's the elephant in the room we're gonna have to talk about right now. It's a 3-hour movie, and really you could have done this in about 30 minutes. A lot of this. But it's also very, very artistic and intentional and deliberate. And there's really not a single frame of this movie that isn't a fucking painting. Like, it is art directed to the 9th degree. It is such a beautiful movie front to back. And even in those scenes where nothing's really happening, you can just sit there and look at the screen and be like, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times that I was like that. We're watching some women play a game and they're getting bored. Like, it's supposed to be a boring scene. And we're getting bored watching them. But it's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
And you touched on like the sound design. Like, I think the sound design is, yes, fairly empty compared to most things and whatever. But the intentionality and the artful choices in the movie, as well as like, I think the set design is incredible in this movie throughout.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's very clear that this was limited in terms of scope compared to what a lot of you see in film nowadays, especially to its age. The pacing slower, whatever. But like, the sound design and the set design are so good that they kind of feel timeless in a lot of ways. And so like, I didn't mind that. Like the fact that it is almost entirely clearly Foley and like post voice recording. It seems like they probably just recorded the movie with like no sound and then put the sounds in specifically points after intentionally. Like, all that seems like artistic choices. I didn't mind that as much. And the pacing, although slow, didn't bother me because it felt, the whole thing feels very folktale. It feels like almost like a Japanese like Grimm storybook style of movie. And so I didn't really mind any of that. I don't know. It was something like, I just wanted more out of the ending of that one. I thought that the meaning was tragic enough, and then the hair flying around felt kind of extraneous is really how it was for me.
Yeah, that's fair enough, man. Some people, that hair is going to be like, okay, we're watching a wig attack a guy.
Well, literally, they have that one scene where he's like running from it, and then he looks up and it's like tied around a pillar, and he's like, and I'm like, really? Like, we're just going to have this like, anyway.
You can imagine how like hair comes out of nowhere. It's tied to a pillar. You're a little alarmed by that. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Fair.
Just
enough.
silly.
And it's also, but in a way, it's also really tragic. That was the thing he was saying. He loves so much about his wife.
Yeah.
I love your long black hair. And now that thing that he loves so much is, she's this withered corpse, and this thing he loves is like coming after him in this really creepy, spidery way. So, yeah. But if that ending didn't work for you, how about the ending to Woman of the Snow, the second one, which I think is a very complete piece, starring my man, Tetsuya Nakadai, who worked with this director on a number of movies, including his breakthrough series, The Human Condition, and then also, as I said, Harakiri, which if anyone's playing Ghost of Yotei right now, and when you do your super move and you put your arms out and like scare everybody, that's Tetsuya Nakadai from Harakiri when he in his big fight at the end. He was also famously in a lot of Akira Kurosawa movies. He was in Seven Samurai. He was in one of the. He was in both Yojimbo as the main bad guy and Sanjuro as the main bad guy, including in Sanjuro being in one of the greatest samurai duels of all time, which he sadly lost to Toshiro Mifune, who's the guy that everyone usually thinks of when they think of like the greatest Japanese actors of all time. I think Tetsuya Nakadai is in a lot of ways as good as, if not better, than Toshiro Mifune, because Toshiro Mifune is always very masculine. Nakadai could be very vulnerable. And I think you see that in this movie a lot. I also want to throw out the fact that he was also in Sword of Doom, where he was probably one of the scariest sons of bitches you'll ever see in your life in that movie. And he also played King Lear in Kurosawa's Ran, where he was like an old dying king. Tetsuya Nakadai passed away about 2 weeks ago.
No.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And it's really a tragedy. I truly do think he was one of the great, like, when you talk about Japanese actors, one of, like, if it's him or Toshiro Mifune, it's those two guys. That's it for the best Japanese film actors of all time. He's amazing. And he was really fantastic in this. And I'd love to know what you guys think about this particular story, which is much more simple and compact, but also has a lot of elements in it that get a little bit more artistic, with the backgrounds and the backdrops being a little bit more expressionistic, with eyes in the sky and the sun being kind of weird. What did you guys think of Woman of the Snow?
I mean, this is my favorite of all the stories.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, this one is my favorite. I think I think it is like the most succinct. It kind of gets through the story, gets to the point a little bit faster. I love the set design in this, and it has my favorite shot of the entire movie in it too. When he first sees the new version of the girl, that beautiful long shot of like the two of them on that
the bridge,
hillside,
yeah.
and then they're kind of framed by the trees. It's
It
just
feels like a stage shot.
It does, and but it looks like a beautiful Japanese painting too. Like it just was gorgeous to look at. I was like, this is fantastic. And so like I think that, and it's such a heartbreaking ending too, just to be like building this life that just feels so complete, and you're just like so happy for them, and then it's just this twist of like now it's like you broke the one promise that you weren't supposed to make, and now you're losing the love of your life to this, and then it's just there was this one shot. I mean, it was just so funny. It was before he comes back inside, but it was just one shot after she leaves, and it's just like this shock on his face. And I was just, as a dad, it was just like, fuck, I'm a single dad now. It was like that kind of moment. Like, yeah. I know it was just so funny. Like there was just that moment of like, I was like, that's, yeah. You're like, you got 3 kids now.
I have to raise these 3 little bastards myself.
At threat of death.
But it was just, yeah, it's a beautiful story. It was like a beautiful story. The set design was incredible. The snowstorm was so cool. Like it's probably not, it might not be your guys' favorite. Probably, I mean, I'm thinking like the favorite is the third one, but this was my personal favorite of the entire film.
I can see how it would speak to you, especially with as you say, that very end where all of a sudden he's alone. And that's a great combination of sequences with him looking after her and shedding a tear, and then putting out the sandals and seeing the sandals do, by the way, a really clean dissolve. That's a really nice dissolve of them disappearing as she takes the sandals that he made for her. Great stuff. Ryan, what did you think of it?
Honestly, I feel like this one's the most traditional fairy tale structure. I feel like this one feels the most like the folktale myth, like kind of like, oh, here's this succinct thing. We've got the guy, his mentor dies, he encounters the supernatural being, he makes a promise, he goes back, he lives his life, he meets a woman, like they fall in love, they have kids, she ends up being supernatural being, he ultimately triggers the thing. Like all that structure feels very the most kind of packaged in terms of what you expect to be kind of like a folk story, and the one that you would expect to be like retold and kind of like word of mouth. And I do think that it does a really good job of, it has all the cool elements of that. I really enjoyed this one. I agree. I think it's got the most beautiful set of any of them. I think that I thought just even the forest with all the snow at the beginning where he's wandering around in the forest with all the snow piles. I was like, this is clearly a very small stage set, and they are making use of this thing. Like it is, it is art.
It's worth mentioning right now when you say that 90%, 95% of this movie is done on sets. There's a couple of outdoor shots, but you notice when they're outdoors. But the sets that they have are dressed to the fucking nines. I mean, it's very much a theatrical movie. It feels like you're watching theater for most of the runtime. But these are like the best sets you've ever seen in theater.
Well, they've
got running water. They've got snow effects. They've got wind. They have real trees. Like, it's insane.
They also do some really clever cheating of stuff, of like, particularly in the fourth one, which I know we'll get to, the shorter one. They do some scenes where, because of the angle they're shooting at, they cheat a room as a backdrop, but then when they change angles, suddenly that backdrop becomes an actual room, and they travel into said room and back and forth. And so it will switch between being a backdrop and an actual set piece based off of the amount of room they have to shoot and what angle they're shooting at. It's very, like, it's clearly very intentional and very planned out and very methodic. And so that alone stands out. But yes, I do think the second one's very strong. Just it feels like a myth piece. It feels like a folklore piece. And it's satisfying in that way. It's got it's well-rounded.
Yeah, and like a lot of the pieces in this, the secondary characters are really interesting too. The mom is a great character. The washerwomen are great characters. And there's also great characters in the third piece, Hoichi the Earless, which is, they kind of hint at the end from the beginning from giving you that. This one's an hour long. It is the guts of this movie, is this huge piece. And what's crazy about this one is, as much as it's the story of this monk, this incredible musician who, by the way, last episode, we're talking about sinners and how music can speak to the spiritual realm and to the past and to the future. Here, this guy is actually summoning spirits because he's such a good biwa player. And they're like, hey, you're singing our song. Why don't you come play for the emperor who got tossed off the boat because his family lost the battle of the emperors off the coast here.
I also got a little like Avatar: The Last Airbender of like, he's the bridge between the physical and spirit realm. Like there's like a little bit of that in there too. It's like, yes.
Sure. Yeah. And but you see like him start to degrade as he's being pulled to the spirit realm over and over, and they won't leave him alone. But what's cool is this not only shows us him getting pulled away, you see every aspect of it. They recreate the Battle of Dan no Ura. Now they do it in very theatrical way, but you've got people on boats jumping from boat to boat. You've got arrows, you've got ships and wind and all of this crazy shit, which, we're talking about decades and decades before Braveheart and digital effects. It's pretty humble when you look at it in that context, but for the time, this is nuts.
They literally have a full boat war scene in a giant water tank.
Yes, on a
they're
set.
Like full samurai armor.
Yeah, they're jumping ships to each other. They're like jumping at each other across these boats,
shooting arrows into each other's chests, and
yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they actually were shooting those arrows. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time. On Throne of Blood, Kurosawa famously actually was shooting Toshiro Mifune full of arrows. Real archers shooting real arrows at extra cushion armor. But it's crazy shit.
Yeah.
Was this scene effective for you guys? I was kind of worried that you were going to see this and be like, it looks kind of shit.
I think they sit on it too long, but I think that it's done well.
Yeah, I would agree with Ryan. I think it does go on a bit long, but it was exciting to watch. It was like a very action packed, because this whole movie is very slow. We've already said that, but like this was like the heavy kind of like exciting action sequence of the film. So it was I thought it was really well done. For what they have. It's
actually interesting you say that, because I think that the battle was the part that I was the least interested in this chapter. Was like,
wow.
I think it was the part of it was the fact that you're getting the narration underneath of the battle itself and the two clans, the Genji and the Haike clan.
Genpei, yeah, the Genpei with the Haike clan, and then the Minamura were the other ones, the ones who won,
and so
and gave us 700 years of shogunate rule.
And so you've got all these different clans that you're trying to keep track of. They also talk about some of the specific like leaders and generals, and then the emperor. And so you're trying to keep track of all these specific characters that you see for very brief amounts of time and which sides are which. And so it gets a little bit esoteric at a point of like you're getting this your undercurrent of the narration with the scene itself, but keeping track of who's who and what's what can be a little much. And so I was like, okay, well, like, where's this going? And so I kind of wanted to, like, at a certain point, I kind of wanted to get through it because of the fact that I wanted to see what the point of the battle scene was. But that doesn't subtract from the fact that the battle scene is technically very adept. It was clearly a feat to do. But I wasn't super excited about sitting in it as long as we did. And then once we did get to the monastery, I was like, cool, okay, where are we at? Who are we talking to? Let's see where we're going with this.
And part of that is, I think, because some of those people would be recognizable to people who are familiar with their Japanese history. They'd be like, oh, there's that guy, there's that guy. You know, if we were to do a movie about like the War of the Roses or like
Lewis and Clark or something. Yeah.
Sure, Macbeth or something, you know, like, okay, oh, there's Macduff, there's Malcolm. Like, we know the characters, we'd be able to pick them out, and it would be a little bit more engaging. But I can see that. But I guess my question then is, what part of this were you really engaged in? Was it the part where he was doing the performance to the all of the Emperor's court, and everything was kind of like muting and changing and becoming different as he was playing to them? Or what really captured you with this third one?
Two things in particular. I think that yes, when we see the court, when he actually goes and plays, and we've got that real, like, all the smoke, and he's on the little islanded platform, and he's not seeing everything change around him, but as he sings all of the spirits are essentially mirroring the parts of the song they sing about. I thought that was super cool, and I think that was the highlight of the chapter for me. But then the other one that I felt like was really good, that wasn't really like a specific moment, but was just a great element of the third story, was the two brothers. The two brothers, or not brothers or whatever they are. The other two,
the two like
monks.
servant dudes. Yeah,
they are such great comedic relief, and they felt like great character actors in this thing. This one felt the most like a film. I think if the second one is mostly like a folk tale, the third one felt most like a film, and these two felt like almost like Marx Brothers. Not Marxist, different thing, but like Marx Brothers, or like I'm trying to think of who are the three Stooges. Like they felt very Three Stooges, like comic relief, and they do a great job of it. They're so good.
Having the two kind of like, funny drunks or weird like side characters is also kind of a trope of Japanese cinema at the time. If you go back and watch, for example, Hidden Fortress, the movie that Star Wars is largely based on. You've got these two kind of goofy sidekick guys, very similar to this. One's tall, one's a little bit shorter, more stubby, end up becoming C-3PO and R2-D2. So these guys would be the kind of the beginnings of C-3PO and R2-D2 as well.
And they have such great moments. I love the campy, like they're both like backing out in the storm and back into each other. I'm like, oh God, like it's like it's like so dumb and just so well. Like you love that. You gotta love it. It's just silly and fun.
It balances out a lot of like the really heavy, dark stuff that's going on in this chapter. Dan, what in this chapter worked for you?
I mean, obviously, I think the part that's like on the poster is probably the part that visually people remember, but the painting on his body and the forgetting of the ears and the whole ripping off of like that whole sequence is just really super creepy and just like that's really good. I mean, I think it's visually just so. You haven't seen anything like that before, like it's just so eye catching, just so like I just really enjoyed that little element of this whole thing was the strongest.
And it's funny because like the thing that creeps me out the most about that isn't just that he has the stuff painted all over his body and that they miss his ears. That's creepy as hell. And of course, when the ghost finally comes to catch him, it's a tense moment. He has to hold completely still or the ghost will see him. But how they show that the ghost he's not operating with human logic, and how they show that he's got this kind of weird drive, like this supernatural drive to him, like, I have to bring this guy back. And the fact you see through his eyes, how all he can see are the ears.
Yeah.
And he goes, well, what are these ears doing floating here? I'm not going to think about what that means. All I know is I have to bring back this guy, and this is all I can find of him. So, whoop.
Yep.
And then
honestly, that first reveal of that he can't see him because of the script. I agree with Dan. When they were drawing on the script, that scene is so cool. But then the fact that like he's calling out and he walks away. We were both watching it like, why does he walk away? And then it pans and he's not there, and you're like, oh, he physically can't see him. That's so cool.
It's a really great, like the shifting of perspectives in that moment is so cool. I do also want to shout out, by the way, the chief priest, the abbot, or whatever you want to call it, like the head guy who's like, we're going to paint him.
Yeah.
The older guy.
The master monk man.
His name is Takashi Shimura, also a legendary Japanese actor. Ikura, which is one of the greatest. It's just an incredible movie, also by Kurosawa. But he also was the scientist in the very first Godzilla movie.
Oh, that's cool.
And the leader of the Seven Samurai in Seven Samurai. So
wow.
Yeah, he's been in a ton of movies as well. Also like a legendary Japanese actor. So a lot of really big actors kind of like just hanging out in this one. But all right, so we like the third one a lot. The fourth one, little bit shorter, little bit odd. And it's just a samurai sees a spirit in a cup of tea, eventually goes, screw it, and drinks it, and then gets haunted by the spirit. How did this one work for you guys? It's a little bit of an odd one. It's kind, if we look at all of these pieces, they're very different in what kind of fear they're selling us or what kind of ghost we're seeing. This was a more, I don't know, meta one where like he kind of steps out of the story into another story. And like maybe he's implying like, okay, well, these stories kind of infect other people. What did you guys think of this? Did it work for you?
This one, I mean, I think that because I read up a little bit on this last one just because it does end abruptly, you know, and I think that they're trying to get this point across. What I was checking out is like that ghost stories don't have like a resolution. The ghosts just keep going on and on and on, and so this is what the kind of the story, like the story itself doesn't have a resolution. It's like in the middle of the conflict, it just kind of ends, and then we are then sucked out of the story. We see the writer of the story now also kind of sucked into the story itself too, because now, just like he saw that man in the tea, he is now trapped in this like water bowl thing at the end.
Yeah.
But I just found this one really silly. I laughed out loud a lot.
Wow.
Like, I don't even know if it was intentional, but I was just like, I just was laughing. I thought it was ridiculous. There was very cool moments that were happening. Like when he's trying to battle those three Raiden looking guys from Mortal Kombat. It was just like, there was like, I love the part where like you could see their shadows on the wall, but he didn't know he was going at. I thought there was some really cool light play, but just overall, I was just laughing out loud almost all the way through. And I was like, I don't know if you're supposed to do this.
There's some great facial expressions in this sequence.
Yeah.
I mean,
that final sequence of him just like going crazy and he's just like, like laughing.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know if I'm supposed to be fearful of this but I'm laughing out loud at it. So that's
my favorite was in the initial teacups that he picks up, that like he keeps like, first off he picks one up and then he decides maybe I'll just do a different teacup, and then it goes again.
Yes!
But like I said out loud to Sasha that I'm like, this is like speed dating. He's like picking up a cup and like the dude's like doing like a face at him, and it's like, hello, my name's Yoichi. I like long
my
walks on the
favorite
beach.
was when he was like, when he rises up, when he's like, was it the second or third cup, and he like rises up, he's like, hello, you know, like,
and then like one like throws the cup. It's like, nah. Like that scene was hilarious.
It's
It was
so funny,
so
the
cheesy.
facial expressions that Samurai is pulling, and then not only the guy in the cup who was just like you say, popping up, oh, I don't gozaimasu.
Yes.
It was also the Samurai just trying to keep a straight face, like,
Yeah. Well, like my first thought was, if I picked up a glass and I was looking at it and saw the reflection of a person essentially in front of me, right? That's not me.
Right.
My first reaction is going to be, I'm going to toss the water in front of me and see if like it encounters a thing, right?
He gets there. He gets to that point.
Well, kind of. He throws a cup on the ground at one point.
It
But
was so funny when he noticed like that flag kite thing, and he's like, is that what I'm looking at? Am I
love
looking at a
that.
flag? It's like, what?
I think this
so
section is
silly.
actually supposed to be a little bit funny. I don't think it's supposed to be
Okay.
100% serious. I like that it's entertaining in that way. I love that. I love him chasing the ghost around the room and the ghost fading into the wall.
yeah.
You know, like there's some cool stuff here. I think it's entertaining, especially after kind of the longer, heavier one of Hoichi the Earless, which ends on a happy note. You know, he finally, they chase off the ghost and everyone hears about what a great musician he is and he gets rich. Yay!
Yeah.
I do think out of the set, I think it's the weakest one, the fourth
Sure.
one.
Absolutely.
And I kind of wish it wasn't the last one. I feel like traditionally it's the most like horror ending in terms of like, kind of to Dan's point, it ends open-ended. We kind of have like a jump scare, quote unquote, at the end. And granted, like you get to Dan's point, the kind of like the writer becoming part of the story is a very horror-y, like you get Alan Wake, you get a bunch of other examples of that throughout history or whatever. So like I see what they were going for, but I definitely feel like out of everything, it's the weakest structurally. It does kind of just end, and I don't feel like its message is nearly as strong as the rest of them. Even the first one, which I feel like the message is kind of muddied. I think that the fourth one has the least clear message.
I don't know. I think the first one is like a pure morality tale. Like,
I mean, it is. It's like, be thankful for what you have and don't walk away from it. Like that comes through. But then the whole being chased by hair thing feels extraneous to that message.
No, that's where the revenge comes in. Be thankful for what you got. You know, diamonds in the back, sun rooftop, digging the scene with the samurai lean, yo. And then all of a sudden the hair's going to attack you.
What just happened?
Where did you get
Dan,
that
you
from?
witnessed this too, right? That wasn't just me.
Yeah.
Thankful
No.
for what you got. No? Okay, never mind.
Oh my
But like,
Culture,
honestly,
boys.
I feel like you could have gotten the same point from just having him wake up and she be dead. like
Mm.
having
That's
to
not
like
good
the
enough.
fleetingness
Gonna
of
fuck him
like,
up.
I love the hair stuff.
But
It's
okay,
cool.
let's do a summary here real quick. Let's do
Well,
it.
I will say
hair
before
stuff,
we
Dan
leave
says.
before we leave the last one, I will say that it demonstrates something that they did throughout this whole film very well, which is and correct me if I'm wrong, Ian, but like the changing of lighting in real time to create mood is so incredible. Like when when the publisher's walking towards the pot and you're like, what is in there? Because like that woman screamed and wrong. It's like, what is he gonna see? And how they're able to darken the entire set and then just focus on him. I was like, they do it throughout the entire movie, but it was such a really like great, and it was like a really great demonstration of it where it really put it in your face of like, this is happening right now. Like there is an entire crew making this lighting situation occur, and it's like it's so beautiful like that they're able to do that through this movie.
I love the shot,
but I love that part of it.
He's carrying the candle into the, it's like not even the main character, it's just like a dude carrying the candle into the temple, and like the light is following him like it's the candle, but it's clearly a spotlight. And then like he puts the candle in, but the light stays on. The the lighting is very well done throughout. I agree.
Yeah. If we can talk about the lighting in this movie, I mean, it's front to back. It's insane in every single one. It's very intentional. It's very deliberate. Kwaidan is legendary for its production design.
It's an art
the
movie.
lighting is a massive part of it. It's an art movie.
It's a beautiful art movie.
It's a gorgeous art movie, front to back. There are images that will sear themselves into your mind forever in this movie. And it's not like it's always up in your face. It's just sitting back, it's just dialed back, letting you observe everything, and you're just along for the ride. It's a long ride, but it's a good ride.
It's a tunnel of love that is just a little too long. It's slow, it's nice, you enjoy it, and then at a certain point you're like, okay, I could get off the tunnel of love, but at least it was nice.
Well, it's funny because we were talking about like all the different ways that we saw this. You saw this right before the show. Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, you took 3 days to watch this?
Yeah, so I've mentioned this on the show before, but since I tend to watch movies later in the evening after my kids have gone to bed, the scary stuff, since this one it was a challenge for me to get through because it is so long and slow. I started it on night 1. I started it, and about 30 minutes in, fell asleep, woke up, it was over. So I was like, okay, I'll tackle it night 2. Night 2, I made it like almost all. I was like halfway in. I was into the 3rd story. Totally fell asleep again, and then I was already into the 4th story, so I had to rewind so I could watch the 3rd one. And then by then I was like so tired, but I hit the 4th one. I was like, all right, I'm just gonna finish the 4th on day 3. So it did take me 3 consecutive watches to finally get through from start to finish the entirety. So to say it was, it was challenging for me to get it through this one.
It might not be a movie for tired dads.
Well,
no,
also,
not a movie for tired dads.
I'll throw in that everybody listening needs to hassle Dan because Dan needs to sleep more. Dan doesn't sleep.
That's true.
Dan needs to take better care of himself, and Dan doesn't sleep then just falls asleep. So please,
and then wonders why he can't
hassle Dan. Take care of Dan.
Never sleeps and wonders why he can't make it through Kwaidan in one sitting. But
Dan needs to sleep.
Which, honestly, if you're going to watch this movie, it's totally fine to watch each segment and then watch a segment and to stop, come back later and watch it, because they're completely separate. It's like 4 movies in one. It's 4 completely separate, unique tales. And I actually, this is one of my comfort movies. We recently had one of the very rare rainstorms here in Los Angeles, and I had the privilege of having the night free to watch this movie while it was raining and cold outside. And I got the whiskey and got the warm drink and got to sit on the couch with the dog and the lights off and everything. And it was very cozy. It's such a cozy movie. It was perfect. It's such a rainy day cozy movie for me. So we all had completely different experiences watching this movie, but
we really did.
It is a movie that I think is well worth watching. But guys, so we got some little questions here at the end. One, do we have anyone that we really hated? Do we have like an F That Guy award? Mike Logan? Oh, we both have some.
You go first, Dan.
I think we're all going to say the same one.
Oh,
I mean, I honestly think you could say the husband from the first one, but
super fair.
I really didn't like that rich wife that he married. Like she
also
was
super
awful.
fair.
Also very fair. Also
Awful.
very
I was
fair.
like, get
She was
away from her.
miserable.
She's terrible.
Yeah,
just the
she was
entire
pretty bad.
time. So I was like, yeah. So I understood. Like,
Well, it's
but
telling that her
to be
parents are
honest,
like,
like-
our daughter is finally married off.
yeah.
Finally off our hands.
We couldn't get rid of her.
We
She's
finally
so-
found someone to take our daughter away.
Oh, please, sir, take our money.
Yeah.
Just take
So
her.
I'd probably give it to her, but I mean, honestly, it's the husband from the first one. I mean,
Okay.
leaving for money, so yeah.
Ryan, counterpoint.
Donkey, the secondary monk from Hoichi the Earless, the one who misses the
Forgets
ears.
the ears. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The guy
And then
who
it's like,
forgets
no,
the ears.
But Ryan, he felt terrible about that.
Oh my god, that doesn't bring the ears back, dude. You had one job, cover him from head to toe, and you're literally standing within sight line of his ears, and you're asked point blank, did you cover every part of his body? And he's looking at him and goes, yes, I covered every part of him head to toe, except for the part that's directly in line with my eyeballs.
We're looking right at his ears at the moment too, and going,
Yeah.
motherfucker, you forgot the ears. This story's called Hoichi the Earless. You know what you've done.
Also, the guy is already blind, so you're gonna take
Exactly.
something else away from him.
He's
Like, come
relying.
on.
It's also how would he know? He can't check himself, right? Like, it is your job. You are responsible for this one thing.
To be fair, he couldn't see his own ears without a mirror, even if he did have sight. And second of all, he can tell where they're painting on him. He's got nerve endings. He's blind. He's not numb.
But also the amount of time that it would take to do his entire body, you think that he's going to remember every single part? Like, I would rely on the people with the eyeballs at that point.
That's fair.
And even if it was with a mirror.
Yeah, I fall asleep during haircuts. I get you. Massages.
That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
It's a great choice, Ryan. It's a great choice.
That's
Screw
good.
donkey.
Good point. Good point. I was going to go with the husband too with Dan, but I don't know. I feel bad for Donkey. It was a genuine mistake.
I feel bad for the husband because the husband regrets it. Like, he's a total dick and he shouldn't have done it in the first place. But at least, like, he's haunted by it so much that then he goes back and he's like, oh, I really screwed up. Like,
well,
but only because she's terrible. If she had been fine, he would have been like, all right, cool. I married into money. I got my money.
Fair, actually.
That's a good point. And you know what, Dan, that is why he died. It's the name of the show, and it's the time on the show where we have to give the This Is Why You Died award. That's mine. I mean, he that's why he died. He went back. He felt bad.
Yeah.
He went back, and the hair got him. Then it turned him into an old man dying in his front yard in front of like the mold house. Which, God, the mold in that house. God. This made me so uncomfortable seeing all the black mold on the walls. Bro, that was one of the scariest things in the movie for me. So that's why you died, pal. You left it. He didn't just leave his wife poking her to get her off of him. It's like, no, you're poor. You're poor. I'm out of here. I can't deal with
one of the
poverty.
only ones who dies in the movie. Now that I think about it, it's like him and the wife who he left behind, and then technically the author? Question mark.
Well, no, you got the master in the second one.
Yeah,
he dies too.
That's right.
The master,
so, the guy that the snow woman blows wind on him, and he freezes.
He was caught in a snowstorm. Like, that's true.
He was caught in a.
But like,
he was caught in a
now that I think about it,
snowstorm.
there's not that many people who have died in this movie.
I mean, you do see the entire Heike clan.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, Heike clan die. So I mean, the blood, the water is red. Ryan,
that's
true. There's so many people that die in this movie. The water turns red when the grandmother jumps into it with the infant emperor.
Well, honestly, that's gotta be
no
mine. Is like, they're like in this boat, they're in the boat, and they're like trapped by all these other boats. And rather than either waiting for another boat or figuring out just a way to like dislodge their boat, they're like, you know what we need to do? We need to jump into the ocean for honor.
At least she went with him. According to some tales, she just hucked him in. But
oh jeez,
I think it was much more honorable this way, where she's like, "I'm taking you with me."
But like, you could have just lived. Like, yeah, maybe. Like,
no, No, you get captured and dishonored. You die with honor. That's what she was doing.
Oh, right. They were getting captured. You're right. I forgot.
Yeah,
You're right. I forgot. You mean, you see, I remembered it that they had, like, everyone was dead and they were caught they couldn't escape the boat blockade or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but you're right.
Yeah.
They're going to get captured.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, if we go back to my choice of why somebody died, I mean, honestly, that poor master died because those dumb people put the boat on the other side.
Yeah, they bailed
of the river.
They were like, it's getting
They put it on the other side. They couldn't even get to it. They couldn't even get to their boat. It's
Sons
like, okay,
of bitches. That's not even his fault. And he was asleep. He was passed out. He's like, man, I'm so tired from the snowstorm. And all of a sudden, kiss of death from the weird snow lady.
Who can teleport the branch in and out of the way? By the way, the branch is blocking the door. Then the branch is not there. The door's flapping open, and then
a lot of ghosts. Ghosts walk through a lot of things.
And then she has the whole conversation with the guy, and then he goes back to sleep, and suddenly the branch is back.
You're
the poor
argue
boatman can't get in
with what a spirit can and can't do?
No, it's just silly.
You don't know her powers. You don't know what powers she has.
She's clearly a very powerful storm sorceress of some kind, if nothing else.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, and then she can become human at will and then, like, pop out 3 kids. That's this is why you died. The 3 kids died because, the guy couldn't keep his mouth shut. And then, they all died because he's a bad dad. So
off-screen secret ending from Certain Dangers.
All right.
He can't keep a secret and he's a deadbeat dad.
Yeah. So there, Nakadai. Rest in peace.
But at least he makes good sandals.
All right, so it's time for the Scully Awards. We got to give Kwaidan a rating. We got to rate it 1 to 10 in Scully's. I'll go first. It was my pick, and I freaking love this movie. I'm so excited we got to watch it. I have to admit, I'm nervous that you guys are going to think it was too slow, that it's too artistic, that it's not horror enough. But for me, this is such a classic idea of what horror was traditionally. It's a folk horror movie. It's a beautiful Japanese movie. It's an expression of Japanese culture. It's an expression of cinema. And also the ways that it incorporates traditional Japanese theater and into the third piece, the way that it handles being expressionistic and surreal and painterly and liminal. It's just an absolutely amazing movie. I love this movie so much. It's a 9.5 Scullies from me.
Nice.
So
wow.
Yeah, I adore this movie. This movie is just I just put it on and leave it in the background sometimes. So, Mr. Dan March of Madness, your first time ever hearing about Kwaidan.
Yeah.
What did you think about it now that you've watched it over the course of 3 days?
I mean, it was I think it was really tough for me to get through this one just because it was so slow. Like it was really and I'm used to slow. I enjoy slow burn movies. I like things that do that, but this just felt so lethargic at times. Like it was just like, come on, let's get through this. But I don't want to blame it because it could just be that I was tired. Because I'm tired sometimes. So I'm gonna go with an 8. An 8 because I'm knocking down 1 because it was longer than I think it needed to be, definitely. And then again, like you make really great points about what horror was, and it is folk horror, but I did want to feel more scared with it or feel some sort of fear. I never got scared with it, and there was nothing that really even really creeped me out, but I did enjoy the feeling that it created. I enjoyed the what it did. I mean, cinematically it is an achievement. Like the set design is incredible. The camera work was really cool. Like even during the weakest one, which is the T one, I loved how they would twist the camera back and forth, like as he twisted the cup and stuff. Like just those things were just where I first got that sense of like the camera work was really incredible is after the reveal in the first story when he's trying to escape the house and it turns into this twisting Dutch angle. But I was like, it gave me that like, oh, hi, Christopher Nolan, you saw this movie probably and started doing Inception. It it was a very Inception-y sort of shot, how he's trying to get out of the house, and it just felt like the camera was turning, trying to keep him away from it. So, although it was a little too long and I wish it was a little scarier, that's why I kind of knock it down a peg, but I still think it's just fantastic. And like I said, like the lighting throughout, like what they were doing right there on the set was just incredible. So, eight Scullies for me.
Fair enough. I had a feeling that was going to happen, and I agree. It's not going to scare the pants off you, but from an atmospheric standpoint, it has got a ton of atmosphere. Brian Ross live. Well, how many Scullies do you give to Kwaidan?
Honestly, I'm going to have to agree with Dan here. It was almost a 7.5, but I think specifically the second and third stories really boost it up. And the thing is, like, yes, it's slow. It is a very slow movie. It's long. It's a bit of a slog to get through, but I didn't really mind it too much. I think that I really enjoyed the artistic aspects. It really felt like watching a fairy tale movie to me, except just like, rather than like your traditional Grimm's European fairy tales, it was clearly like these Eastern mythology, Eastern folktale stories. And that almost just kind of put it in a different scope for me, that I really enjoyed kind of taking it in for the most part. There were parts I could have skipped. There were parts that felt like they dragged on too long. But overall, I enjoyed it. I thought that the set stuff was brilliant. I thought that the lighting was brilliant. I thought the art achievements in this movie really stood out. And like, even if the acting and type of stuff is kind of lackluster, I think that overall the movie's very good.
Ian's going crazy. If you're not watching us on YouTube right now and you're just listening to us, Ian just shook like Frankenstein coming alive.
I don't think that there's a ton to define. I don't think that there's a ton to define most of the characters in this movie. Outside of, like I said, I think the two humorous guys in Hoichi did a great job, and I think that Hoichi's great specifically as well. But I think a lot of the other characters are kind of samey throughout. I don't think that there's a lot of like definition that, in my opinion, was brought to a lot of the acting. But the art alone, I think, really uplifts this movie, and it was enjoyable. I enjoyed it. There were elements that were funny. There were elements that were interesting. There were elements that I thought were thought-provoking, and it's a beautiful watch.
But it's still only an 8 to you.
It is an 8. Right. I think it's in line with some of the, like, I have like Audition at an 8. I have like The Monkey at an 8 and Martyrs at an 8. I think that's right. An 8 feels right.
Okay, and fair enough. After our last episode, I suppose you had to get one back on me, but that's all right. I understand. I have to admit, I am disappointed, but not surprised, boys. But at the same time, I'm
surprised that you're disappointed with 8s. I thought that 8 would be higher than what you expected.
Yeah, I thought you would expect a lot lower from us.
I worried about lower. I did not expect lower. I worried about lower. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed it as much as you did.
8.5 on average. That's pretty good, I think, for the group.
He wanted to be higher.
I wanted to be higher. But that's okay. That's what the show is about, is having our individual opinions and also giving kind of a general read to the people who are going to go watch these movies.
Ian, I think we liked it more than Hellraiser.
Oh my God, did we? Well, hold on, I gotta go look.
Yes.
We did.
No, you did.
We did. That's incredible. It's true, though. I think it's better than Hellraiser. I do.
Look at Ian.
I do think this is
watch
true.
us on YouTube for Ian's disgust.
Yeah. No, it's
this is honestly, after last episode, this is fair. I feel vindicated.
Is it fair?
That was not intentional, but I feel vindicated. I do.
All right.
There's a great joy in my heart in this moment.
I feel like I'm out of a prompt. I've used my prompt. We've spent it on Kwaidan. That means I've got to reach into my bucket of the beast, my little shiny skull here, and pick out a new prompt. But in the meantime, while I'm reaching in here and shuffling around, boys, why don't you tell them what we've got ahead of us? Dan, you're coming up next, and then Ryan, you're coming the week after next.
I do.
What do we got coming up?
I'm sitting on Myth, which I'm very excited about.
Oh my God,
and I have the prompt car,
which you're about to reveal.
That I'm going to reveal very shortly. Yes, after we hear what.
And then we have to roll for the holiday episode, we said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. I can't wait for that. But I am currently in here, and I found a tight wad of prompts. I'm going to reach in the middle.
You have the smallest of the buckets, too. No, mine I do. Now. I think my car now
yours is
very
well, yours car is bigger than mine. All right, and I have pulled out something that my old eyes can't read. Interesting.
Oh.
Indonesia.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's very
no,
specific.
this is good. This is good. I know some fantastic Indonesian horror that I can't wait. Boys, you like ghost stories, you like possessions, you like demons. I got you. I got you.
I know which one. I know which one you're talking about. Oh my god, I hope we watch that one.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I hope we watch that one. That is so good.
We'll see.
Ryan, if he chooses it, you are in for a treat.
I know some good ones.
A treat.
I know some good
Dan,
ones. I also know some really.
I've never seen you look more like a dog who just got excited off a leash. You were
because
like,
I didn't. No, because like I was so I was so empty about like what he would choose until he mentioned one thing, and then it just like popped into my head. And this movie fucking scared the shit out of me. It's so good. Yeah,
Okay.
if it's the one he chooses, it might not be. So we'll see.
We will see. There's a lot. I also know some really, really terrible Indonesian films that are very horror, but they're so bad. And I don't know. It might be time for another like bad movie.
it has been a bit of a terrible one too.
It's been a while.
Yeah, that's true.
Been a while.
That being said, I have to consult my map real quick because I'm trying to remember. It is. I was right. Sumatra. Sumatra is an island in Indonesia. And if anyone who got the reference I made at the top of this show knows why I'm thinking of Sumatra right now, because I currently am down with some Singgaya. And I might have to introduce you guys to the Sumatran rat monkey. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do something for... I have a whole bunch of options
Ian
here.
is speaking another language right
What
now.
are we talking about? I don't even know.
Ian has left the building, and Dan and I are left in
I don't know.
It will all make sense eventually, maybe. But that's going to be a tough pick between one of the really good horrors coming out of Indonesia or one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Whoa.
So, yeah, that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be tough.
Okay.
But boys, we need to find out what are we doing next week, and then we're going to find out what we're doing for our bonus episode.
We do. So you're going to have to grab you're going to get dice for what we're going to do for the episode, right? So I need you guys to grab dice again, or be ready because I'm about to roll, because I cannot choose between. I have two movies in mind, and I need to make a roll for it.
Okay, and what
for
are they?
For car.
So, okay, for car. So how are we going to do this? If I'm going to tell you the two movies I have in mind.
So pick evens or odds, and then
make one even and odd.
All right, here we go. Okay,
tell us the movies, and then say we'll make one even and one odd, and then you roll.
So both of these movies have scenes with a car involved that are very intense and can change the movie potentially. So the two movies we have in mind, I will go odd for Korea's I Saw the Devil.
Yes.
And even will be Hereditary.
Oh shit, son.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know that one. I don't know how it's to do with cars.
There's
you'll see.
You'll see if we get it. We just did Ari Aster, but that Hereditary is definitely one of the like tentpole must-see horror films of the last 20 years. So fair enough. And I Saw the Devil rocks. So either way, that's good.
So odd is I Saw the Devil. Even is Hereditary.
All right, give it a roll.
Drum roll, please, and give that dice a roll.
What is it?
18.
It is Hereditary.
Hereditary.
Oh god.
There it is.
Oh god.
No.
Hereditary.
Oh
god.
There it is.
Goodness.
I have heard
such
things.
This is one of my favorite horror films, so I'm very excited about this choice. I first was leaning towards I Saw the Devil because I love that movie, but I think we can come back to it. But as soon as I remembered the scene, I was like, we got to try it. We got to try and include it.
That's a very good pick for car.
Yeah.
I'm so concerned.
God, you should be. Well, all right, and not just because of that, but there's a lot of other stuff in Hereditary that's going to.
I've heard that this movie fucks you up.
Fucks
from people who I
you.
trust.
Yeah. Brace yourself.
Here you go, Ryan. Here we
That's
go.
a great one. All right.
Hereditary.
So coming up.
Hey, honestly, it's been a bit since I've been intimidated by one of the movies we chose, so I guess we're
That's
at that point.
true. That's true. It
That's
has been a little
probably
bit
fair.
since we've gotten a wee from you. So it's about time we got back there to
Oh,
that
God.
feeling of foreboding and doom. But all right, boys. Speaking of foreboding, it's time to figure out what movie we're going to do for our holiday special. That's right. If you're a Patreon, you get our bonus content every single month. And this month coming up, actually, we're in the middle of it now. It's the holiday season, all of the holidays in the world. We've each come in with a holiday horror movie to watch. And whoever, what are we going to say, gets the highest score
We said
on our
lowest
dice?
unless it's 13, right? Isn't that the...
Yes, there you go. A
If you
13
get
is
13,
a
it's an
Lowest
auto
chooses
win.
the movie.
natty win with the 13.
Well, we
But,
should
then-
honestly, we should reveal what movie we're going to pick and then...
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
Yeah.
what has everybody got?
Dan, what did you bring to the table today?
Oh, one of my favorite horror movies and my favorite holiday movie,
He's so happy.
Black Christmas.
Whoa! Oh, I'm
Yes.
assuming the original, right?
The original. Yes,
All right.
the Bob
Okay.
Clark Black
Bob
Christmas,
Clark,
not the other
classic.
2 remakes that they made, but the original Black Christmas is my
All right,
choice.
all right. A holiday classic indeed.
Yes.
Mr. Ryan Ross Live, what have you brought for our holiday party?
I mean, I don't know a lot of holiday horror, but I know one that I haven't seen that everyone points to is Gremlins. So
Yay!
Nice.
That's a good choice.
That's a horror
great
movie, right?
choice.
I
And
hope it's a
they've
horror movie.
just confirmed Gremlins 3 is going to be in
Oh,
the works
for
too.
I didn't even
fuck's
realize
sake.
there was a second one.
Oh,
Oh, second one is mwah, mwah.
so good.
Well, there you
for
go.
totally different reasons. But this is really tough for me because there are so many amazing holiday horror movies that I love. They just did a remake of Silent Night, Deadly Night, and it's hard for me to not choose that or the original because those are classics. But I wanted to once again blow y'all's minds with a holiday horror movie, maybe a little under the radar, kind of like last year we did Rare Exports, little under the radar.
Loved it.
God,
This
it's
one is
so
also
good.
under the radar. Bill Goldberg as a satanic Santa Claus in Santa's Sleigh, S-L-A-Y. Santa's
God.
Sleigh is what I'm bringing to the table
Oh,
this
God.
year. And if we don't end up watching this one this year, I recommend everyone who listens to the show to go out and watch that one because it's fucking amazing. But all right, so now it begins. The dice
we are.
are loaded. The hands are shaking in a very odd way.
Yep.
A very
Okay.
Suggestive.
very suggestive way.
It's just the
All
three
right.
of us. It's just all men in here
That's-
shaking our hands.
all
with
right.
our, with
Well,
dice
and
in
now
our
that
hands.
Ryan has made it wildly
did it.
awkward,
He
throw
did
the
it.
dice, gentlemen. Oh, well, guess what?
Did he get a
turn that
13?
right around there. 13, baby.
He got
Oh,
the 13.
well, there you go. He got it. He got it.
I got the clean 13.
Damn, I thought I was
Wow.
gonna have it. I had a 5.
I had a 10, so no matter what.
There it is.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Goldberg. The
That's not
spirit
bad.
of Christmas is with my dice. The spirit of Bill Goldberg, the man that ended Bret Hart's career. Well, boys, I guess we're watching Santa's Sleigh.
Santa's Sleigh.
Krampus, another one I wanted to do, but
That's
Santa's
a good
Sleigh.
one, too. Krampus is
Man.
good.
But here's the thing. We were just talking about how we haven't watched like a good, just goopy, dumb horror movie in a while.
Yeah. Santa's
Santa's Sleigh is fucking all that and a cup of tea. So, boys, Santa's Sleigh. Brian's shaking his head. All right. Well,
And honestly, all I'm thinking is I know it's not the same movie, but I'm just thinking of that David Harbour violent Santa movie recently of like I don't
Violent
remember.
Night.
Is it
Yeah.
violent?
Oh,
It
yeah.
It's like everything that you're saying about this movie is just like clicking into that zone in my brain.
Did you
Die
watch it?
Hard meets
I did
Santa.
not.
Okay. The Violent Night is Die Hard meets Santa. Very cute. This is the movie that Violent Night wanted to be, but
Okay.
didn't have the balls to be.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
There.
surprised. I mean,
I've
we
said it.
could have chosen Terrifier 3 in that.
We could have also chosen Terrifier 3 and really fucked up Ryan's day.
Yeah.
But no, It's going to be Santa's sleigh for all of our lovely patrons. If you want to join up, patreon.com. And Dan, where else can they find all of our links?
You can go to beacons.ai/TIWYD pod to get wherever you can stream. You can watch us on YouTube, join the Patreon, buy this cool beanie and other cool things. We're going to add some more now. Ryan's already created 5 other things in the back of his mind that he hasn't even told us about. So our store is going to be full
pressure
for the holiday season.
Ryan does work, man. Ryan does work. But Ryan, speaking of which, any shout outs for us?
Dedicated benefactor CG, thank you so much for your support.
CG. What up?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, CG.
And
Thank
all
you
of
so
our
much.
other various patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting the show. We really appreciate you. And then, yeah, if you guys are interested in potentially joining for our gaming segment, hit us up. We got a little gaming segment. We're going to be doing some Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
We're going to play some Dead by Daylight together.
You want to
It's gonna
try
be
to kill
silly.
us in Dead by Daylight? Sign up for our Patreon.
It'll be silly.
It could be you. Or we could come kill you. Either way. But we'll see what happens.
Little bit
But
of
that's
both.
right. So on the next episode will be Hereditary. Thank you guys for checking out this episode where we talked about Kwaidan, Japanese classic Kwaidan. Very much appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for everyone for checking out our show. For Dan March of Madness, for Ryan Ross Live, I am Sir Ian Dangerous, and you have been listening to
This is why you die.